When the mayor banned this poster, the Christian group behind the Not Gay and Proud message accused him of trying to secure the gay vote ahead of his re-election. Today, the Court of Appeal said there should be an investigation.
Well, I think it's a very important judgment today, because what we see happening here is the master of the rolls, a very senior judge, ordering that a senior politician, the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson, be investigated for potential unlawful interference in order to advance his political campaign.
At an event to promote buses today, Boris Johnson seemed unnerved by the court's decision.
I saw that, and as far as I understand it, they've supported what we decided to do, and that's great. And as far as I'm concerned, that's good news.
The row began after the gay rights group Stonewall ran banners on double-decker buses reading "Some people are gay, get over it." Core Issues argued the posters went against their Christian beliefs and announced plans for theirs. But as chairman of TfL, Boris Johnson imposed the ban. His decision came just ahead of the 2012 mayoral elections, and the Christian group claims he personally intervened and acted for an improper purpose. But even the mayor's political opponents say he did do the right thing.
I think Boris was absolutely right to take the decision he did. He is the head of Transport for London, and whilst the posters were not themselves advocating violence against lesbians or gays, that sort of thing can trigger that very small minority of violent people to go out and do something like that.
Well, it's obviously a legal technicality, but quite honestly, on the issue itself, I think there's going to be very few people who wouldn't say that TfL and Boris, in this instance, did absolutely right.
What started as a row over censorship has ended up with the Court of Appeal ordering an inquiry. The key phrase from both sides of this row was "get over it." It's unlikely anyone will be doing that for some time to come. Ronke Phillips, ITV News.
Well, I'm joined now by Dr. Mike Davidson from the Core Issues Trust. Thank you for coming in to speak to me. We know that when an election campaign is happening, whether that's on a local level or nationally, politicians target specific groups. In the next election, they're targeting the so-called Aldi mums. So even if it is proven that Boris Johnson did target the gay vote, what's the problem with that?
Well, I think they need to be even-handed. So fair enough, if they have a particular target, then surely they need to give some attention to people who have a different point of view. We're just interested in a balanced debate. This is a very complex area. It can't be easily settled. We need to have good evidence in front of us, and we need an opportunity to speak what we believe to be true.
But what happened in court today didn't change the ruling that it was OK to ban the advert. So nothing's going to change from this action, is it?
Well, I disagree, because I think in a sense it was a clear recognition that people who are moving away from homosexuality or who have what they call an ex-gay identity are people who need to be respected within our democracy. They are recognised.
But the court didn't say that. It didn't say that it was looking into whether that type of language, that type of phrase that a lot of people find very offensive, should be out there on the streets. It said that it was looking into why the mayor decided to make that ban, because of your accusations that he did it to get the gay vote.
I think what the court did say was that there is a problem if public figures misuse their power, and that it's very important to discern what is going on in such a situation, and that's welcome news.
But so many people supported the mayor on this one. We've seen today from his political opponents. That speaks volumes, doesn't it? And TfL saying today in a statement, reiterating the fact that it breached their advertising standards.
I think Judge Lang made it very clear that, in her opinion, it was not only the Core Issues Trust advert that breached those principles, it was also the Stonewall advert, it was also the British Humanist Society. So buses, I don't really think, are the place to get a reasoned account for all of the complexities in this.
You're obviously entitled to your views. When you use the phrase ex-gay, do you ever think about a young child or a teenager coming to terms with his or her homosexuality and having to listen to words like that, and what effect it might have on them if they have a different opinion to you?
And what about the married man who experiences homosexual feelings and goes for support from a counsellor and is told, well, actually, there's nothing that can be done. You really should reconsider your marriage. But he, with his partner and perhaps with his children, has decided that that is a personal priority for him and that's what he wants to do. Why should he not be supported and respected as an autonomous individual?
OK, I think that slightly diverts what we were talking about. But Dr. Mike Davidson, thank you very much for coming in to talk to me on this issue. Thank you.
You're welcome.